Hey everybody, so wanted to catch up on some comments here. Wanted to answer a question about batching drills. So the question was, is it possible to batch drills, and is it true that you can't batch more than 12 paid drills in the fourth quarter of the fiscal year? Yes and yes. It is possible to batch drills, and it is currently not authorized to batch more than 12 in the final quarter. And I've actually got experience with that. I had 1 year where the year after my daughter was born, actually, and because I had a family member who was helping to take care of her when I was away for reserve duties, I had requested to split my ADT up so that I could do it in 3 to 4 day periods at a time rather than the full 2 weeks, so that my caretaker wouldn't be basically handling my daughter for extended periods of time. So I was trying to kind of find a balance there. So because I did that, I ended up using some of my normal drill weekends for ADT instead of IDT. So I was using my 2 week time, applying that towards my drills. And this actually ended up being the first year that they rolled this out, this policy of no more than 12 paid drills in the final quarter. And so what ended up happening for me is I got capped, and I was not able to drill enough paid drills in the fourth quarter to reach the 90% paid IDT requirement for the anniversary year. Now, that didn't stop me from getting my good year, but it was a negative page 7 for me. It's actually the only time in my whole career that I had a negative page 7. And, that is what it is. But that was my experience. And I did actually drill for points to get all the points I needed, which is why I still got a good year. But per participation standards in the reserves, the fine print is 90% of paid IDT. So because I didn't do enough paid IDT, I didn't get I got my negative page 7 for that. So anyway, yes, that's true. You can't exceed 12 paid drills in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly the type of situation that it would manifest in if you were more than 12 drills away from hitting 90% of the 48, then you fall short. When it comes to batching in general, though, you can usually do that. It is at the discretion of your command. So some commands that I've been a part of were really flexible with that. Others were a little more strict. It's going to depend on, obviously, the needs of the unit you're at. And also, it's going to depend on your rank and your leadership position. The higher ranking you are, typically it's more expected for you to be present for the standard weekends. But that's just been my experience in general. So you can batch, but it's going to be at the discretion of your command. Now, the final part of this question I wanted to address had to do with the 6-year initial commitment to join the reserves. And there was some concern about, well, what if something happens, life event happens 3 years in, and I want to get out? Can I do that? I will start the answer by saying, if you're really concerned about something like that happening, I would seriously reconsider the idea of joining. And I don't say that to discourage anybody or dishearten anybody. I would not want to put myself in a situation where I feel like there's a reasonable chance I'm going to set myself up for disappointment or potentially burning bridges. Now, having said that, you can get discharged early as with so many things that I talk about on this channel, it's going to depend on situations. It's going to be situational. There's not a cookie cutter answer to this question. So depending on what happens, depending on your life situation, whether it's a medical thing, a family emergency, there's going to be lots of things that'll be considered. But again, if it's something that you're seriously concerned about for whatever reason, I would really try to work through whatever those concerns are, and to the best of your abilities, if you do decide to join, go in with the expectation for yourself that you're going to serve out the 6 years. And I don't say that with any sense of judgment. If something were to come up, I'm saying that purely out of your own best interest. You don't want to be discharged under conditions other than honorable. That will follow you around, and you just don't want to deal with that. So, like I say a lot of times, it's not one single answer for that question, but I would just really map out your plan to the best of your abilities for the next 6 years, and see how the reserves can interact with that, with your lifestyle, and if you think it'll work, then maybe go for it. But if you really have concerns about being able to stick it out for the 6 years, then really look into that. Anyway, I hope that helps, and thank you for the continued viewership and support, and please keep the questions coming. I will try to get to them as fast as I can. All right, take care.